Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to this introductory video for college algebra, Mat 1340. So just in this video, I'm going to try and keep this real short and quick, but we're going to go through my courses and just kind of look through it just to familiarize ourselves with the layout of the course. And while I do that, I'll talk about kind of what's expected of you in the course. So starting right here, we've got our home page. I am viewing this as a student, so some things might look a little different than they will when we're actually in the heyday of the course, such as announcements. There's, of course, no announcements yet because we haven't started the course at the time of this recording, but those will pop up there. Any pertinent information that you need will be right here on the home page. You got a nice little bio about me right here. But the most important thing that we'll click on is up here in content. So if we go ahead and click on that, we can dive into what you'll see when you actually log into the course for the first time. So I'm looking at the table of contents, and as you can see here, there's a whole lot of links here. I may edit the order of these, so it might not look exactly like it does now, but at least to start, we've got these two welcome modules. These will actually pop up for you the first time that you open the course. So you should actually already have seen these. That's how you actually access the video. There's a little welcome message, a little biography about myself, in case you're interested to learn more about me. There's a course schedule and a course syllabus, so you can click on all those. You should have seen these already. That's how you actually got to this video. So there's all that. There's also a handful of things before we get into the actual weekly modules. There's links for My Math Lab. My Math Lab is going to be the primary way that you complete your homework. And there are some other things, but we'll talk about those. But you can go to the course home, you can go to an assignments list, your grade books, a library for links to like the textbook and things like that. But all of this is just your module for links to My Math Lab, which is where we'll complete our online homework. There's a couple other things here. I won't bother clicking on these. These are as they kind of say, student information for proctored testing, need math help. So these are just things that you could click on and peruse in case you have questions on those types of things. The need math help is just a resource for things like tutoring or if you need extra help in a math course. So a little bit more important though will be our weekly modules. And as you can see, let me scroll down here. If you look on the left side, you can see there's a lot of these. There's 13 of these, and these correspond to every week that we have in the course. And these are nice and laid out. They're very organized so that it's just easy for you to see what's going on here. We've got a very brief kind of discussion of what sections in the textbook will cover and what information that actually entails. And then I have for every one of these weeks in a nice big turquoise box here, due dates for various assignments and kind of what you're expected to do. I'll go over that in just a moment, a little bit more in more detail. But below this, there's also links to everything that you could expect to need, right? We have lecture videos that you can watch. These are all done fully, so you can watch these at your leisure. There's a link, again, a link to My Math Lab, and then links to discussion topics, which I will take a look at a little bit later. What I want to do here, week one is maybe a little weird because it's just the first week. I want to click on a fairly normal week. So let's go to something like week 4. And we could take a look at this. So you can see a bullet point list here of what you'll be able to do by the end of that week. But looking into here, you'll typically see 2 due dates throughout the week. So our weeks will have something due on a Thursday. So this 23rd right here is in fact a Thursday. And then this 27th is a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Or actually, that should be a Monday. I think I'm off there because Thursday, 4 days would be a Monday. So your assignments will be due twice a week on a Thursday and a Monday, and they're organized fairly well. So as you can see here, you'll have a discussion post, which I will show us discussions in a little bit. That's due on Thursday, so everybody in the class will make a post on the discussion boards, and then you're required to reply by Monday. And so similar, so with that, we kind of are splitting up the work throughout the week so that you're not always just trying to do it right before things are due. Similar to that is the My Math Lab reading assessments, labeled RA. Those are due midway through the week. And once you do those, then you'll go do the homework and the quiz on My Math Lab, which are due on Monday. So again, just uh, maybe frustrating if you're a procrastinator, but I always like to try to force my students to spread out the work throughout the week. That way you're not trying to cram it all in the night that things are due or putting things off. So, and it's better for your learning anyways. So this is our typical week that we'll see here. Things due on Thursday and Monday. There are a handful of weeks that are a little bit different here. Um, I'll go to week 7, for example. This is a spring break week. So what I actually do, you can see up at the top here, this is actually, let's say this quote unquote week is actually 2 weeks long. And this is because the spring breaks are different based on what physical FRCC campus you're at. So some weeks there's some differences, there's some weird things going on. You can see I have everything lumped into one due date here because I want you to enjoy your spring break and be able to just do this at any point you want. So keep an eye out. Some weeks are a little bit different than others, but for the most part, again, if we go back to like week 4, things are due on Thursdays and Mondays. So, and then of course, as we've seen, you have links here. None of these are active yet, but they will become active as those weeks pop up. So, um, there's all that. These are your weekly modules. Below all these weekly modules, there's a handful of things down here. E-text chapters, how-to videos, helpful FRCC links, and SI Corner. I'll go ahead and click on this. So we do have a supplemental instructor for this course, and she is going to place her material in here. So you can find that. You can find that all right here in the SI Corner, and just a handful of extra things down here at the bottom. So there's our content. This is by far the most important thing and the most often thing that you'll click on. And so there's a good little overview of that. To continue forward, I've got a couple other things up here on this top bar that I want to look at. Assignments, discussions, and quizzes. Grades, of course, you'll just be able to click on that and see your grades. Assignments is very minimal. You're going to have to submit handwritten work for your exams, and you will submit that right in here. It's fairly easy. You just click on this assignments tab and you click right here on whichever relevant assignment it is, and you upload your work. This is all for our exams. I don't want to bore you or overload you with info on the exams now in this video. We'll talk about that more later, but this is where you'll turn that work in. I'm going to jump ahead to quizzes really quick and skip over discussions. We'll do that in a sec. Quizzes, this is where your exams will be kind of located. Again, I don't want to talk too much about exams, but you'll see here, there's only one thing so far that you have to do. I make this available on February 7th and due on the February 14th. So we have a ways away for this, but this is where your exams will pop up. And like I've said, we'll talk more about that as we get closer to those exams. Discussions here, this is going to be kind of the last thing that I want to spend a good chunk of time on. There's not really much here because I'm viewing as a student. So I'm actually going to change out of this and view this as an instructor. So this is not how it's going to look for you just yet, but I can view all this. And we can start to look here and see that I have discussions on most weeks. There's some weeks such as week 7 where I don't have anything, and week 13 where I don't have anything. But if we go ahead and we click on something like week 4, you can see that there's a discussion here. Again, like I said, you can't see this yet. I make it available later on just so things aren't cluttered for you. But this discussion happens mostly weekly, and you have usually a short video or an article to read. So I've got everything hyperlinked. So you'll watch that video or maybe read the article, and you'll make a post about your thoughts and maybe answering some questions. I give you very laid out directions here, questions I want you to answer. And so you'll make a post here so that your fellow students can read your thoughts on the article or video. And then since you've done that by Thursday, and hopefully everybody's done that by Thursday, you will reply by Monday, and you'll get to reply to other students, and you'll facilitate some conversation back and forth. And I will read all these. I will try to respond where I can, or where it makes sense to. And these are your discussion posts. So, I could even click on this for you to kind of see. Obviously, there's nothing going on yet, so you won't really see it. But I could click Start a New Thread, and if I do that, I get to type in a cool title for this discussion, and then answer the questions here. And you could keep typing stuff. And so this is how, you click post and you make your post right there. And then other students can reply to that. So that's the typical discussion that happens. I'm going to hit cancel here so I don't actually make that. And again, as I mentioned before in these weekly modules, let me go to content here. Let me go down to something like week 4. We can see here at the bottom, I have this already linked right here. So it's very easy for you to just look at this right in the weekly module and click on it, and you're all good to go. These weekly modules here on the left side are basically going to be where you go 99% of the time when you log into MyCourses. You'll click right into these weekly modules, and pretty much everything you need should be right there. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it in terms of going through D2L. Just as a quick recap, the things that you're expected to do in this course, you're expected to complete your My Math Lab homework. And so again, we've got these MML links right here. You'll click right into here. So you're expected to complete the My Math Lab assignments, which are reading assessments, homeworks, and quizzes. Those are due on either Thursday or Monday, depending on which one of those they are. You're expected to make discussion posts. As we saw, there's plenty of them in here. I have these hidden right now, but you'll see them as they pop up, so you'll be expected to do those. And then, of course, you have exams, right? And like I said, we'll talk about exams later when we get closer to them. But those are the things that are required of you from an assignments perspective. I also want people to be very aware that I am still your instructor for this course. And the reason I kind of emphasize that is that a lot of times in online courses, students feel like they're on their own. They feel like they have to teach themselves. They feel like they don't have somebody there that can help them with the content. But I want to make it very clear that I am still an instructor, just as if this were an in-person class. And I am happy to help you out with any content that you are struggling with. I am happy to meet via Zoom and talk with you over about topics, and help you learn this material. So do not hesitate to reach out to me via email or via MyCourses. And yeah, so that's a quick little preview to the course. One last little disclaimer, things may look a little bit different than they did in this video. I still have a couple little edits to the course I want to make just in terms of layout and design. So it may not look exactly like it does in this video, but it should be fairly close. So thanks for listening to this, and I'm excited for another awesome semester.